Hello, this is Beth Thompson with Apps for Market Share Inc. And I'm back once again here with another tutorial video. This time we're going to talk about the mailing list feature, or what some of us are calling the newsletter feature. It's kind of been a source of a bit of confusion, so we wanted to do a quick video on it. The newsletter feature or the mailing list feature is basically, if you're familiar with an opt-in form on a website, that is exactly what it is on your app. It's basically an opt-in form. It allows the user to put in their name and email address and add themselves to your newsletter that you're sending out. So let's go ahead and go to the tab and we'll take a look around. We're in the apps for market share dashboard, where you can access your app. And you would find that at a4mlogin.com. That's the letter A, the number 4, and then M and login.com. If you don't have your login credentials, feel free to get in touch with your sales representative and they will be happy to get those for you, or you can give us a call at Apps for Market Share too. Okay, so we're in the dashboard for that, and when you first come into the dashboard, you see these buttons across the middle here, and we're going to be using the content button today. And once you click on that, it brings up all of the tabs that are on your app, and we're talking about the newsletter feature or the mailing list feature today. So you get this screen, and over here on the right side of the screen, you see these different email companies, MailChimp, iContact, and so on and so forth, all the way down to Emma down here. And I'm very familiar with a lot of these. My favorite is MailChimp. If you're looking for a recommendation, MailChimp is really easy to use, and for all intents and purposes, until you have a fairly large list, it's cheap, it's free, and even when you do get a large list, it's one of the more inexpensive ones. So if you're looking for one, I would recommend MailChimp. Now, all of these that are listed here, we can connect those up to the opt-in form here, so that when someone puts in their name and email address, it will automatically take it and dump it right into your MailChimp or iContact or Constant Contact or whatever you have. So you don't have to do a thing, it just is in there, and the next time you mail to your list, you'll be mailing to the new person who added themselves on your app. So that makes it really simple. If you don't have one of these, say you're sending out your newsletter manually, or you're doing it through Outlook or some other service, it's not the end of the world. You can still get your list, because there's a button right down here at the bottom. It says download mailing list, and you click on that and you will immediately be given an Excel spreadsheet that you can easily just upload to whatever service you're using. So it's not a big deal to do it. You just click download and boom, you get an Excel spreadsheet and everything's right in there. So that's really the simplicity of it. Now, there's a couple other things I wanted to go over real quick with you. When you get your app finished from us, you'll have it'll all be set up, and this box right here will be checked for prompt option. And we always include that because we think it's a great idea to prompt people to add themselves to your mailing list. So what that means is, when they first get your app and they download it and they open it, it's going to prompt them and it's going to say, would you like to be added to our mailing list? And right there on the home screen, they can type in their name and email address. Now, some people don't like that. So if you don't like it, you can just come here to your newsletter tab and click that off and save the changes, and you're all good to go. Save changes. And it will not ask for that anymore. Okay, so that's one thing. This automatic button is something that we would set. If you have one of these, it's going to automatically upload to it. So we would be checking that box if we have connected this for you, and we'll do that for you as well. The other thing that I wanted to show you is this edit categories box up here. Now, if you guys are sophisticated mailing list users, you may have more than one list. So that's what this allows you to do. It will allow you to connect up those lists. And you can see I've added basic info here for ours. You can add another category. So let's say we wanted to add, tips and tricks or something like that for marketing your app. You save it, and then you can see now you've got two categories. If you ever don't want that category or that mailing list anymore, you just delete it. Now, this is similar to when you opt in for a list and somebody says, they're asking you, would you like to know about, internet marketing, or would you like to know about Google ads or something like that, and you can check one or both of those lists, and you may get different emails from people on different topics. So that's exactly what this is. So for instance, we may send out to everyone information on, basic information on mobile apps and marketing them and why you need one and just general information. But some people, for instance, only our app owners, might like to have the tips and tricks list. That's, what are the 10 best things you need to, or the 10 best things to do to market your app and grow your app subscription list. So that's pretty basic stuff. So you can have as many of those as you want. I wouldn't get too carried away with it just because it gets a little bit confusing. And then most of these services will allow you to choose. You can choose one of those lists or both of them to send to. Okay, and so you save the changes, and then you see when you go over to the preview button over here, and the preview page, if you haven't seen it, you can preview your app over here. It takes a little bit to load because it's actually loading an actual preview of the app. And then this over here is the mobile app, their mobile website app. It's always going to ask you for your current location. And then we're looking for our newsletter tab. So we're going to go here and then here. And there it is. So now you can see there's our basic info. There's our tips and tricks. So someone would enter their name, enter their email address, and then they can flip these buttons just by clicking on them. So yeah, I want to know the basic info, but I'm not really interested in tips and tricks. And that's just one other point, is that you can't put a tremendous amount of information here because it runs into the button. So you got to keep your descriptions fairly short. And then, of course, they would click the join button, and they've now signed up for your newsletter. So that's it for the newsletter feature. I hope that's helpful, and if you have any questions, feel free to get in touch with your sales representative or give us a call at Apps for Market Share. And we love you guys, and thanks very much.